We're in the Spice Lab, which is in the Department of Physics and Astronomy. I'm Carla Ramsdell, and I'm a practitioner in residence here. And I'm joined with these two lovely people from the Renewable Energy Initiative, which we're going to learn about a little bit in a little bit. So Avery and Sierra are here to help with the cooking. We're going to talk about making pasta in a dorm. This also could be when you're traveling in a hotel or camping. It's just, even sometimes I get home and I'm really tired and I don't want to take out a bunch of pots and pans. Super easy pasta. So today we're going to be doing two different types of pasta sauces, a really simple grated tomato and also a peanut Thai. Both of them you can make in a dorm. So we're starting with this pasta that's really protein dense, so it makes it like you can just have pasta and have a complete meal. It has a bunch of fiber and a bunch of protein. I'm a huge fan. It's not the taste of whole wheat, so if you've tried whole wheat pasta and you don't like it, I would give this a try because it tastes more like regular pasta, but it just is much more nutritious. So let's get started by making the pasta first. Are you all ready for some spaghetti?
Of course.
Cool. So the first thing we want to do is fill our travel mugs. These are insulated mugs. I would definitely choose mugs that have stainless steel on the inside, not plastic, because plastic and boiling water, not a great combination. So you want to just make sure we're never boiling more water than we need. Water is really energy hungry. It has a really high specific heat. And we are going to be using these things, which are immersion water boilers. And I'm certain that very few to nobody has these before this episode, but you will now. They're really fabulous. They're super energy efficient because they get very hot and they're immersed in the water. So there's nowhere else for the energy to go but into the water. So they're very energy efficient. They're also super transportable. I bring them with me when I travel, and you can have them in your dorm. You can boil water for tea or for ramen or for this pasta recipe. So we're just going to start by boiling some water. You kind of want to get it so that the black part is not underwater, but most of the other part is. So yeah, you put it in the water first and then you turn it on because it gets hot really quickly. All right, cool. So the water has come to a full rolling boil on both of these. I would recommend having a little jar on the side so that you can put those in there because they're really, really hot. They'll damage surfaces and they'll definitely burn you. So having a safe place to put it before you turn it off is a really great choice. So each of you have a little bundle of pasta from this Protein Plus pasta. So you want to just, the bundle should be about the diameter of a nickel. I find that's a pretty good diameter for a single serving. If you like a little more, you can go to a quarter. So you just want to like cut it in half and drop it in there. My grandmother would be so sad, my Italian grandmother, but this is what you got to do for coffee mug pasta. So then we're going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt in each of those. So, get that. Right there. Perfect. Just give it a little bit of a swirl and put the lid on. Sorry. Where's your lid? Cool. Now we're doing what's called passive pasta, which means we're going to just let the pasta cook with this already boiling water. The great thing about this immersion water boiler is that it heats the water and the container, so it's a really hot, fully thermally heated system. If you don't have one, well, you could order one because they're really pretty inexpensive, but also you could use just like an electric kettle, or you could use an electric kettle, or you could microwave the water, but the water doesn't tend to get hot enough to really get well-cooked pasta in the microwave. So one of these methods is probably a better choice. While these are cooking, we're going to try to make some of these sauces. So it takes about 10 to 12 minutes for these to passively cook. All right, so the first sauce we're going to make is super simple, grated tomato sauce. You literally just need to buy a tomato. Fresh herbs are a bonus if you want them, but you don't have to. You can buy anything. We're going to add a little bit of olive oil and garlic salt. It's really easy. Again, it only goes in the microwave for about a minute just to kind of soften the tomatoes. So you want to just cut that tomato in half and give it a grating. Yeah. Awesome. So you can get any of these graters. They're super inexpensive. This was like 99 cents, I think. And we're going to use the bigger part of the grating. But you also can use the smaller grate for things like garlic or ginger. There's lots of things that you can grate. You can grate an apple also in an apple cake. So yeah, just go for it. You're doing great. I'll get you a little non-slid mat. I'm going to slide this under here so it doesn't slide around on you.
Oh, perfect.
Is that much better?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Should have done that in the beginning. Yeah, so then when it gets to the end, you just move your way around. While you're working on that tomato, do you want to tell us a little bit about the Renewable Energy Initiative? It's like literally my favorite student group on campus. They're amazing. So tell us about it for those who might want to join you.
Yeah, thank you. The Renewable Energy Initiative is an organization here on campus that we get $10 from every student's fees a year, and we put that towards energy efficiency and renewable energy projects. So that's been a lot of like solar arrays, the Broyhill wind turbine, a lot of like even just LED retrofits, just stuff all
The
around
Spice
campus.
Lab.
Yeah, this lab we helped fund this.
For sure, wouldn't be here.
So many things, and I'm a first year student. I just got involved with it, but I've loved it so much, and it's also just a really great group of like-minded people who want to see like a good positive change on campus. So.
Yeah, it's fabulous. I really appreciate the support. This space would not be here if it weren't for the Renewable Energy Initiative and all of the student fees which would go into there. So I have basically the whole campus to thank for this space. So the scraps can go into the compost bin. Appalachian State has an awesome compost program. There's green bins all throughout campus. So bringing your scraps there is super for making sort of rich soil for us on campus. So to that, I would add just a little swirl of olive oil. Everything is better with olive oil. You can just take the grater and put it right here. Yeah, be a little not shy with the olive oil, because I'm a big fan of olive oil. It makes everything taste delicious. Yeah, get a good swirl in there. Perfect. That is great. This is one of my favorites. This garlic salt is like a kind of a coarse salt, and it has a little bit of herbs mixed in, so I would give maybe a teaspoon-ish of a sprinkle there. Awesome, that's perfect. And to that, I would add some kind of herb. So you definitely can just use like an Italian seasoning. You can also buy seasoning bulk at places like Earth Fare or Be Natural. So you don't have to buy the whole container. You can just literally buy a teaspoon or a tablespoon at a time. But we're also going to use some fresh herbs. Again, maybe you wouldn't have these in a dorm, but that's also just like a really nice hack. So these scissors are the best, because they actually will slice an herb into really like fine slices. So I'm going to let you have at that. This has already been rinsed. The herbs have been rinsed. You want to try to avoid the stems, sort of, but not be crazy about it, right? So just keep going. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. And the fresh herbs are one thing you can do that make an enormous difference to the flavor of your food. And really just treating herbs like a plant. So when you bring them home from the grocery store, just put them in a jar of water. You can leave them in the refrigerator with a little bag tented over top, and they'll last for a really long time. You can even leave them out on the counter. I think they look really pretty. So I like having some good herbs on hand. You want to sprinkle a little bit of that too. We get some oregano and some rosemary all mixed in there. Perfect. Great. That's all there is to it. We're just going to put it in the microwave for literally a minute, and that's just going to be to heat it up, break down that tomato a little more. And I'm actually going to first add a little touch of sugar, and the sugar will just kind of take a little bit of the bite out of the tomato. Here we go. Get all of that good stuff. Another great thing, no waste, exactly. Another great thing you could add would be some garlic. You can add a garlic clove, which is really good. It really tastes best. But also, this granulated garlic is pretty yummy too. So you want to put maybe a little, shaker, so be a little gentle there, but a little bit of garlic will jazz it up a bit. I think that's perfect.
All right.
Cool. That's it.
Awesome. And this just goes in there for a minute.
It does, yeah.
Let me get a shot. Sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Feels warm.
All right, so there it goes. It's coming out of there, and oh, it smells really delicious with the olive oil and the garlic and those fresh herbs. So you could do it a little bit longer if you'd like it cooked a little more, maybe dehydrate it a little more. I think that's just perfect for a pasta topper. So let's move on to the second pasta sauce. All right, we're ready to do the second sauce, which is just as quick and really easy if you're traveling also. We start with 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. And if you're traveling, you can just bring along one of these like peanut butter packets. That's about 2 tablespoons in a packet. We're also going to use about 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, which happens to be how much is in 1 packet. So these are things you can just bring along with you. I also bring along a little Altoids spice cabinet, and in here I have some little Ziplocs which also have like some ginger and some garlic, which is also going in here. So these is a really easy thing to bring with you. A sugar packet as a little bit of sweetener too would be a great choice.
Alrighty, so next we're going to add about 2 teaspoons of soy sauce into the container. And following this, we're also going to take some of the hot water from our pasta and drain about 2 tablespoons.
A tablespoon to 2, yeah, just to soften up the peanut butter and make it less of a thick thing and more of a sauce. Okay, I'd recommend like about some kind of sweetener, a little bit of honey if you have it. If you're traveling or in a dorm, maybe just a teaspoon of sugar would be a good choice. Let me just get you a little spoon. I'll just put like a little, like a half a scoop there of sugar. Then we're going to add a little bit of garlic. You could use a regular garlic clove, but we're actually just going to use some granulated garlic again, which makes it really easy. So maybe just a little sprinkle of garlic. And to taste, if you love garlic, go heavy on it. Also use some fresh garlic, would give it a little more of a punch. And we're definitely going to add some ginger to bring in that sort of spice a little bit. So a little, maybe a teaspoon's worth of ginger. Yeah, go a little heavier on that. That is a lot of the good flavor we're going to bring in. If you want to add some umami, and that's that flavor, that 5th flavor that really hits our tongue and we love, you can add a little bit of a bouillon cube too. This is a vegetable bouillon cube. Again, travels really well. They're usually in my little travel spice cabinet. They also add a lot of salt. And so I would add just maybe like a quarter or a little less than a quarter in there to give it a little bit of an extra punch. And if I can open it, that would be really great. Oh, look at that. They gave me an easy open spell. We're going to put that here and do a little slicing. Yeah, so I'm just going to take a little piece of this, and then we're just going to kind of crumble it in there. And hopefully that hot water is enough to dissolve that bouillon cube. So give it a good stirring. Great. I'm going to add just a touch more of this hot water.
Gotcha.
There we go. So we want it kind of to be pourable like a sauce. It's going to cover all the different pasta noodles. Smell good?
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
It smells really good. Cool. And then we definitely could put some toppers on it, like green onions are a really great topper. Again, some fresh herbs would be a good choice. Some sesame. If you're in a place where you happen to have some more ingredients available, I love a toasted sesame seed oil on there also. Brings out some really great flavors. So let's put it all together. What do you say?
Yes, let's do it.
So the pasta's sat in the water for about 12 minutes. We tasted it to make sure it was right. Sometimes it takes a couple more minutes. So before you drain the water, you want to make sure the al dente is perfect. So we're going to pour these in our bowl. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Easy peasy. I'm going to add a little drizzle of olive oil into both of them, just so that the pasta doesn't stick. You want to put a little bit of that in there too. I'm going to get a fork or two. Perfect. So I'm going to add my tomato sauce, and you can add your peanut sauce. Look at that. It just smells really fresh. Yumma. Okay, add a little bit of topping. So a green onion's really yummy for that sauce, and then I'm just going to cut a little bit more of this parsley on top of here for a fresh flair. I am sad that I forgot to bring Parmesan cheese, because this really needs a little sprinkling of Parmesan cheese, makes it really delicious. I think no cooking show is complete without a tasting. Oh, peas. Peas would be really good on that. So I gotta add a little protein. Let's go for it.